Here's my thoughts on Adam and Eve. Adam, in the beginning, was calm, patient, good-hearted. Um, he was God. The first literal born son, the Son of God. And Eve, it was the same way in the beginning, but then when she fell into temptation, that's when she realized that the sin felt powerful. And then with her passive husband, because that's what Christ, the side of Christ, has been known as, passive, until Christ understands Eve. Same thing with Eve, until Eve became evil. But in the end, the story is that Adam and Eve, they reconcile. It's like they got a separation. They were separated. And then now in the end, once the 1,000 years is up, the complete amount of time, then they reconcile, they work out their differences, and then now they appreciate each other, because the firstborn now understands the evil side, and then the evil side now understands the good side. They never experienced it. When you're purely evil, then you'll force people to do things that you know that they don't want to do, but you're going to force them to do it anyway. It's the God of forces. Once Eve recognizes how the good side feels to be, doing for others and not going on a power trip. Once she finally gets that, now you have both sides, and then you just kind of meet in the middle. You don't need to use all the good all the time and all the bad all the time. You just need to be in the middle, like meditated in the middle of both sides, left and right side of your brain. Just meet right in the middle and be in the moment. And when you need to use the evil part of you, then you use it, because evil's necessary. It's like that evil is what God created to turn you back to good. Because everybody goes astray. Eve learned that when she was able to control Adam over there and use his serpent to against him, that's what she did. And then that's why those mandibles that Kleck was talking about, he stays away from those mandibles. He has no regard for women. Then if you try to be Adam and Eve in one vessel, and you try to do it literally, you're going to look like Jonathan Kleck. If you do it spiritually, you'll look like everybody else that understands and has woken up to both sides, how necessary both sides are. And stop blaming Satan for everything, and stop praising Christ for everything. Satan is the one that turned you back to Christ. Therefore, you give him credit for kicking your ass and then bringing you back to God, and then you thank God for that. But you give credit where it's due. So Eve is all about, still, the evil side is all about making you do things that you don't want to do, to force you to do things. I can't stand that forceful feeling. And I'm feeling it more and more, because the The job, when you have a job and you don't want to go, aren't you being forced to go? You can say, well, just quit your job. Or don't have so many bills and live a simple life. I will. Eventually, I won't have to pay any bills. Eventually, my life will be very simple. And eventually, everything will be at my fingertips. And then the same thing that I accumulate, I share. I share because I know there's plenty. There's so much food in America. I don't know why there's so many homeless people that don't eat, but I mean, I do know why, because they're selling the food instead of giving it away like it's supposed to be. Everything should be free. I drove by this piece of land the other day. It's like land for rent, for rent or for lease or for sale. And look at this little piece. It's there on the corner, like two busy streets. And I just wonder, like, who owns that land that's selling that piece of property there, that's acting as God? Like, who gave you the right to take that piece of land, that amount of space, and then just, like, sell it to somebody when it's grass and dirt that came from the earth of God that He created? Sounds pretty husky for a little Mercedes C43. Yep. And something like that's like, and I mean, you got to have money to be able to enjoy the things that life provides for everybody that has plenty to give. But if you don't have money, you can't, you know, you're forced to go to work. You're forced to pay the bills. You want to live somewhat comfortably? Get a freaking job and force yourself to wake up in the morning to go to work. You can't stand. Not that you can't stand working, it's the fact of who you're working for and how the system has been set up and how that forceful feeling that Jonathan Kleck tries to put on people, that thing where it's like, if you don't worship me, I told you, you're going to burn in a lake of fire and you're going to be living in complete horror. Yeah, I'm going to be so frightened to death. Oh my God, alien! Wow. Well, honey, look, here's the rapture. Oh, yes, I've been waiting for this. Over here on the other wall should be the angels descending. Watch. Look, everybody, watch. You see those angels? Yeah, oh my God, what's going on? Just relax. Wait till you see the angels descending. Over on that side, watch. Ready? There they are. You know? That's what you're going to see. You can actually predict it. See the one side going up on the left. You'll see the other side going down on the right. So wherever anybody is, if you start seeing, I mean, when you start seeing the angels ascending up as a rapture, if you're there to see it, gather everybody around that you can and start yelling like, wait, watch the ones that are going to descend. Watch, they're going to come down next. They're going to be like, how do you know? What are you talking about? And then they'll come down, and then, you know, if you're evil, you can, like, after Kleck shows us the angels descending down, if you were evil, you can just say that you're God. Like, they're going to wonder, how did you know when you see it? Like, because I'm God. And then they'll all start worshiping you as if you're a God. But if you're like me, you'll just give credit where credit's due. How the hell did you know that, Robin? I could easily have just said, you know, imagine if I did this. I could have done this, but I didn't know the outcome was like this. I could have just not done any videos explaining where I got my information from. I could have just, for the past 2.5 years, stayed low-key quiet and just studied and observed. But see, that doesn't work, because by doing videos and then rewatching the videos, I learn more by doing it, because I get the information, then I do the video talk about it, and then I put it together, then I rewatch it, and then I get to see what you guys are hearing. On top of that, I get to hear it twice, because I just did it, and then I get to hear it again. And if I hear it one more time, more stuff makes sense. That's why I watch Kleck's videos over and over again. I do it because I know he's lying, and I know that I'm going to bring him down in the end. I know that to be true. That's going to happen. And the proof is it'll happen. And I have a reference point. This video at 12:59 p.m. Sunday, October 13th. Those things are going to happen. But I could have just not said anything and then start to come out and just tell you what's going to happen. And everybody would wonder, like, even the agents watching, even the ones that surveil, that know that I'm just me from the outside, because they're watching and they know that I'm getting my information by myself, if I didn't say where I got the information from, you guys would think that I'm God if those things came to pass. And I know that, but I'm not taking that credit. I'm actually saying, I'm actually doing the work that's going to follow me. It's following right along with me. That work that I do is my retirement from here on out. As soon as we go into perdition, as soon as that channel gets shut down, I'm not done my work. But as soon as we go into perdition, and then after I stand in my lot at the end of the days and receive my inheritance, then I get the rest. All that work that I did, it's constantly following me. It's out there. It's out there. There's hundreds of you that have heard it, and then you're going to see it happen. And there's a lot of people in disbelief, but that's fine too, because I don't force you to believe me, do I? It's a channel you can turn, you can tune me out, you can stop watching, you can just stop being irritated at me if you choose to be, and just go along your way. You have that right to do that. Kleck and the other gang stalkers, they make you feel like you have to watch them, or you have to do what they say, and you just have to, or else. Eve and her angels, they wanted to, even though Kleck is also playing the Scarlet, the whore that sits on many waters, because he's playing everybody. It's just it's what they do. He's playing Hillary, because Hillary's being blamed for that as the woman, but he truly is acting as Eve, which represents the woman sitting Scarlet, the whore, the Great Babylon. But they also have to play it out in the real world to show us what Great Babylon is. So Philadelphia be destroyed 1 hour, and probably London, or Rome, or something, whatever Steve was talking about. There's always going to be 2 incidents, so you can, or 3 manifestations, so you can, this group can believe that, this group can believe that, and this group can believe that. That's why there's 3. So Kleck is playing Obama, also the Antichrist, and the woman. He's playing Eve. He's telling you that Eve wanted to come down and have sex with the virgins, which is the 144,000, which is Eve, Vol, squashing, or killing all the sheep, which is Adam, and then killing yous, raping yous, and then just like Sodom and Gomorrah, he's playing that, all the roles. He is everything and everybody in the entire world right now as the face. I am just telling you, he's deceived beyond imagination. More than any person on planet Earth, it's Jonathan Kleck is the most deceived person on planet Earth. And I thought it was Steve at first, but knowledge increases. What are you supposed to do? If you care enough and you see that things change, well, then you'll say it. If you got a different date, well, then I'll say it. If my date changes in 10 seconds, I'll get on the video. I'll get back up and make another video and tell you the next date that I think things are jumping off or this is going to happen. Yeah, no, I can continue to set dates, and eventually I'll get it right. But it's this month. This month is the final date setting. Because my channel's getting shut down the 8th, October 18th. And then 21st. The party starts on the 18th and up to the 21st. There's 3.5 days. It's making sense. Going right into perdition. The 8th year that Harold Camping gave us a heads up about the end of the world happening. So it's 7 full years they're playing it. Click his radio show 7 to 8 p.m. being the 7th and of the 8th, going into perdition. He knows the date. He knows the date. He knows Harold Camping was a true prophet. He was one of the top stalkers, having people call Harold Camping and stalk him in real life. Yep. Or it was both of them. In all likelihood, it's both of you, Stephen James and him. But there's, again, I think because James has been following me more than Kleck. Kleck's only seeing me now because he can't ignore me. Because I know all I got to do is just open up my mouth and just talk and just keep burying him. And I will bury him. But he prevails against the saints first. And, kills us and slaughters us and everything. And then after we're slain, we rise back up. Because once we're slain off of the airways, we fall down. And then we rise back up. Because God is working in people's hearts that are behind the scenes. I didn't truly get it and understand it, but, thank God I have Justin to talk to. And every time he says something, I thoroughly listened very clearly. And a lot of things sink in afterwards. And I know it does. So therefore, when he says anything about he feels like something is the way it is or how people react, and it's because he knows. He knows because of his gut has told him in the past, and then it came to pass, and then that's the confirmation. So I know that I don't even question it. Just I hear it, and if I'm not feeling that way at the time, within the next few weeks I start feeling that way. Exactly what he's talking about. One thing was like this. At first, when you get ready to go out in the public, you have this anxiety, right, about people. Then you realize once you're around them that everybody is a controlled puppet. Everybody can be controlled by your energy that you dish off. So if you're a controlling Eve, then you're going to try to get people to do things the way that you want them to do, and you're going to be selfish in that manner. Or you can send off a different vibe. You put people's guard down because you're not looking to sneak. You're not looking to sucker punch them. I look when people's guards are down. They're not lying. They're not hiding. They're not being sneaky. They're just being themselves. Everybody feels like they got to put up a front, a wall. The wall is coming down in all kinds of fashions. These walls, the walls, spiritual walls that people set up, all these walls are coming down in troublous times. So do you feel forced to do anything? Like when you go to work, is it a forceful feeling because you got to get up? You really don't want to get up. It's not that you're lazy. A lot of people are, but the rest of my life, I'm going to be doing work. But it's going to be what I want to do. It's going to be things that I've always wanted to do. And then on top of that, with the land being at rest, which means we're not slaves anymore. Everybody gets to do the things that they've wanted to do with a good heart. Because think about this, you don't have to get the hell up and go to work and slave for the system any longer. Jonathan Kleck wants that system. He wants the money to collapse because he's the one that drew on the back of those $20 bills. It's his artwork on the new ones. It's his artwork. Just like the Obama portrait, it is his artwork. Over 4,000 images. It's more than that, but he's got it all. So he's the one that's going to be in control. Again, I just say the face of the scarlet horde that sits on many waters, the face of Lucifer, the face of Satan, the face of Jesus Christ. He's the face of God. He's claiming to have all that power, that he's everything in one. But he'll try to get the Christians that are deceived on his watching him to believe he's Christ. Then he'll try to get the ones that are with him to believe that he is Lucifer. And then he'll try to get the other ones to, well, it's the same thing with being Eve. He has different people. Just like I have different types of subs, groups. But I'm not pointing it towards any specific group besides, this is all the information I have. You can take it, you can leave it. Most of you take it. Some of you act like you don't take it, but you take it even more. And you guys are the agents, the ones that still pretend that you aren't. You guys are going to start telling the truth too. And it's not going to be that, it's not a threat. It's not even a promise. It's just what's going to happen. You're going to start telling the truth. My gut tells me that you're going to start telling the truth. And at an appointed time, when you guys finally see the same thing that Kleck sees. And now actually before that, because you're going to see, when you guys finally see this 9/11 happen and all the destruction in Philly that I told you about, and you guys know I'm not from the inside, you guys are going to really, your eyes are going to really open up. And then you're going to understand that none of you go to the help of Kleck anymore. Because he still won't. I can tell you exactly what Kleck's doing. And Kleck prefers for me to know exactly what he's doing now. Exactly. He wants me to know exactly. And he's going to talk just like that because he knows I'm going to understand him. But he knows that you guys won't. And he believes that you won't believe him. And he believes that even when it happens, everybody is still coming to help him. That's the part where me and him differ, because God in my life has taught me over the years that that kind of shit does not last. It might last for 3.5 days, but that's God just pouring the salt in the wound. That's that punishment where you have to feel victory. He will allow you to feel victory, and then when it's time to pull the rug, your time is up. Click. You don't believe me? All right, well, whatever. I mean, what? What's that? Who promised me? Who told me? I did. I told me. I said. I was speaking. I was like, I heard, and then my the Lord told me, "Hey, Robin." I was like, yes, Robin. You all you got to do is just talk about things that you want to happen, and they're going to happen. So, oh, thanks, Lord. So you mean anything I say, I can and will be held? It'll be held against me in a court of law, but it'll come to pass anyway. That's right, Robin. Thanks, Henry. That's how Kleck talks to himself. Who can see what we can do in the dark? Who sees us? Who knows our plans? Who can... Not only that, if you know and can see their plans, who are you to stop it? How are you going to stop it? I'm one person with no promises from any man on earth. God told me. You know, however God talks. God, the creator, the one that created good and evil, Adam and Eve, created our bodies, our environment, our surroundings, the physical things that we see, and then we're the ones that create the life. We can't create anything with our hands that out of nothing. Only God can do that. That's the spirit. We're the ones that create life on earth. And all we got to do is just speak it into existence. Be persistent about it. You don't rely on God for that to make the change. You don't wait on the world to change. You do what you have to do, and then leave the timing up to the creator of time and space and energy and a physical flesh. Leave it up to him for that part, but do your part before time is up, because time is up. It's up. It's not down. Time is up. And your time is up. Click. My time's up first, then your time's up afterwards. And Steve, his time's up. And then it's time for everybody to, just start to get in line to the path where you're actually going to want to get in line. There's no forcing here. The way God works is he shows you everything first. Do it your way. God, do it your way. I'm right here for when you turn back to me. I'm right here. How does he do that? Because he doesn't force you to do anything. Once you figure it out on your own, people try to tell you what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I'll figure it out on my own. Let me go in this direction. Let me hit the wall and then bounce back. And then now I know not to go to that wall ever again. That temptation won't be there anymore because I've already hit the wall and bounced back. There's so many people that want to tell you what to do. Just focus on yourself, what you need to do. Give advice. Don't tell people what to do. Give them advice of what to do. It's all how it comes out of your mouth. How do you talk? Do you make people feel like shit, on purpose? Do you force people to do things? Do you make them run errands for you or something you don't feel like doing? Are you that kind of person? Are you still Eve, using your mandibles to try to trap the serpent, and then get the other head to think about nothing else except for the serpent's head as to what the mandibles want? And then that's the power that they use. It's just a fact, ain't it? Ain't that the way of life? Is that not true? And then there's others that they don't do that. But everything's a trap. Money's a trap. They create these jobs that we have to work in order to keep working for them, and then they create this paper from the God's green trees, and then they make us work for that, making us buy stuff and sell stuff to us. You're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast, because buying and selling is over. The only ones that'll continue to think that they need to buy and sell are the ones that have the mark of the beast. So Adam and Eve are going to reconcile back together in the end, because time's up.